we're going to feature a different format and something I think is going to be different, but I hope to continue it in the future. We'll let you fans kind of give us some feedback and see what you think. Dennis, first off, welcome today, and give us your plans. How's the packing going? I know you're getting ready to host the Dennis Wolf Classic. You're still in Vegas, but are you ready to go? Because you're going to be gone for about 6 weeks, right?
Hey, partner. Yes, I'll be leaving next week, Wednesday. So in about a week, my show is on April 6th. So yeah, all the preparations going pretty good. So I'm excited. Of course, I have to deal with some unexpected things as always, But yeah, that's gonna be our fourth show, and yeah, we are again almost sold out. I'm very very excited and looking forward to host it again in Bochum,
And
Germany.
Who do you have guest posing, or who's your special guest for the event?
I have three guest posers. Mario Riga, it's it's a performer. It's I mean, he was competing when he was young, but then he went into performance art, so he was even performing at the Arnold Classic. Arnold Classic invited him, I think like 10 years ago or so. So kind of brought him back because he did a guest performance last year at one of the shows in Germany. So I want him back. So one of my good friends too. And we have one upcoming athlete, very young athlete, Andre Gerstner. It's a classic physique, new professional. So we got him and my athlete Dennis Reinhold. So he is gonna be in his all-time heaviest, I think, and yeah, he looks great. He's about 126 kilos right now, and yeah, very exciting, and very much looking forward to the show. Finally, I mean, time flies fast, and we're almost there.
Good deal. Well, good luck with that. And obviously, hopefully by next year's, rendition, we have Nutrition Wolf over there. We'll be sponsoring the show. Hopefully we'll be over into the, into the Eastern countries, and then you guys will be able to pick that up over there. Hopefully, definitely by this time next year. We do want to remind you guys that we are still running the 20% off special on nutritionwolf.com. If you use code BBB, Big Bad Bodybuilding, BBB will get you 20% off. And this week, I'll give you free funnel. Also, we just want to recognize a couple of stores that just picked up the brand. Staying in Texas, we got Iron J's Nutrition, again, in my hometown, Lubbock, Texas. Thank you guys for picking it up and supporting it. You can go see Jeremy or TJ over there. Can help you with your Nutrition World products, and also Nutrition Nation on Little Road in Arlington, Texas. You can go by and see Dave DeVille. That would be his wrestling alias. Go by and tell him Zach sent you over there, and he'll help you out. All right. Today, we want to introduce two very special guests. We have said that we want to feature new and up-and-coming athletes that have a lot of star potential on the show that maybe aren't a household name yet, and I think we've got that today. First, we want to welcome and bring in Mr. Daniel Coffeen. Is it Coffeen? Help me out,
Coffeen.
Daniel.
Yes, sir.
I was going to screw it up. Now, Daniel is the lead posing coach for John Jewett's J3U. J3U is an educational program for aspiring coaches and anyone looking to compete in the world of bodybuilding. And then our special guest, our athlete today, we are featuring Mr. Dilans Kurepins. Dylan's 24 years old. Hey, Dylan, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Great. Dylan's 24 years old, new IFBB Pro from Latvia. He's getting ready to make his pro debut in just 9 short days at the Two Bro Pros competition. So we're going to talk more about that here in just a second. First, Daniel, why don't you give us a little bit of background on kind of what you do and your tie with John Jewett and that whole program?
Oh man, where do I start? Well, I had a very non-traditional entry into bodybuilding. Right out of high school, I went straight into military, and I was in the military for like 8 years active duty, 4 years reserve, where I went to college and stuff. And so I was just like jumping out of planes and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So I wasn't really bodybuilding. When I got out of the military around COVID times, I went to graduate school to be a physical therapist. And I was studying physical therapy when I did my, I guess it was my second bodybuilding show, but I was very new to it. and my posing was absolutely terrible. And so I decided that I needed to get a handle on that. And my issue is that I had a few friends that were helping me with posing. John was coaching me, but he just didn't really have, time to put me through posing. He had a bunch of athletes that he's coaching. So posing was always just something that was just like, and I think it's kind of like on the athlete to kind of be proactive about their posing. Usually their nutrition coach, diet coach, like usually doesn't cover the posing stuff. So you got to kind of outsource that. But there wasn't anyone that I knew of that had like a curriculum, and I really like school, I like academics. And so I didn't really know of anyone that had like a course or like a person that could put you through a curriculum on how to do these poses. So I was like, I know a whole bunch of stuff about the body because I'm in these biomechanics and anatomy classes all day long. I said, I could probably just start putting something together here and see if I can make myself like a curriculum to study. So that's what I did. I made it for myself initially. And I was in an off season when I basically completed it. So I asked a few friends if I could use it on them, and they started winning classes, winning pro cards. And so then I kind of became this person that was a subject matter expert when it came to posing. And I was still really new to this stuff. So
how long ago was this when you got started with this?
Yeah. So I've done basically like a season and a half.
Okay.
I did the 2022 season, like the last half of it. I helped some guys basically like for free. And then all of last season, that was my first full season. And we had a bunch of pro cards and a bunch of overalls, and it was just really cool. And so now I get to work with some of the best athletes in the sport, which is really
man, that's great on such a short amount of time. I mean, to go from that to working with, John, and I mean, obviously he has a very, highly regarded reputation. So to be kind of the guy for his guys is a big deal. So congratulations on that. I thought you were going to say you've been doing it for 10 years or something.
No, guys, I'm really new to this. And John, that was just, he was my coach at the time. I went to graduate school in the same town that he lives in. So we were training in the same gym, and it just like kind of made sense. It wasn't like this big plan. I was kind of doing it on my own. And then he kind of asked me to come be a part of it. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is my dream job to like hang out with my bodybuilding idols, So just been doing that. It's been really, really cool. Got a lot of new stuff coming. We're going to start doing like some group calls and some subscription services. So we just really want to have a product that from, a pro who's doing a pro debut can come in, they can get all the education that they need, understand posing concepts, posing theory, understand the why behind what they're doing. And then they go on stage and it just becomes second nature. So we do it for all skill levels. And like working with Dilans, like we've only done 2 sessions, but I think we've really unlocked some really cool stuff. And that's the most rewarding thing for me is like, I'll tell them, all right, give me your best front double. And then I'll say, all right, change this. We'll take a picture of them both, put it side by side. And then I just send it to them and I go, who wins the shot? And they're always just like, oh, this one.
That's awesome. I'm sure that goes a long way. Let me ask you, are you just specialize in bodybuilding and classic physique? I mean, are you also doing women's figure? I mean, I would actually like to see you up there with a 2-piece on.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, I started off just classic physique and bodybuilding. And then, women's physique and women's bodybuilding are very similar. So I started, dabbling over there. Figure's not a whole lot different than, it's the simplest one. Like, it's just the 4 mandatory poses and a couple other poses. So I'm relatively new to figure, and I'm relatively new to men's physique. And I got to tell you, men's physique is kicking my ass. That is hard stuff right there to get up there. Yeah. And so like I've been pouring a lot of effort into that because it's very interesting to me. And there's a lot of principles that I've been taking from men's physique and applying it over to bodybuilding, just like about kind of opening up, how to keep those abs engaged. And there's a lot of carryover. So, I'm still uncovering things daily. And so there's just so much room for growth. Having guys like you want to learn about it's really neat.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would, sometime not on this episode, but would like to just pick your brain. Dennis and I don't cover, men's physique on this channel per se, but you know, I did one time just as part of a bodybuilding show, and you know what's funny? I got out there, I did not know what the hell to do with myself. You know, I just wanted to hit most musculars and double biceps. So I'm sure there's a lot more to it. I just like almost didn't know where to put my hands and what they're looking for even now, as far as, because now I'm seeing guys, you know, with the stand crunch abs versus the vacuum. And so, yeah, I'd like for you to kind of educate me maybe on some time. And Dennis, you probably need some education on men's physique, because I know you're closely following it now, right? But no, you know, it's part of the sport, man. And I do realize there's a ton of guys that compete in it. And, you know, I really like some of the physiques that are out there. So, yeah, I'd love to kind of talk with you some other time about that. Dennis, real quick, before we get to Dilans, tell me about kind of your experience, like when you started out learning to pose. Did you ever have a posing coach, or did you emulate kind of like somebody else that you looked up to, or kind of what's your experience, Dennis, when you first started out, you know, posing wise? And then when you got to the pro level, did you kind of seek any other help, or you just kind of do it all on your own?
Look, I mean, compared to today, what we have, like you know, technology and all that, back then we were in a stone age, you know. So first time I you know, start my prep for the show was 99, and actually just like 3 or 4 weeks out, my trainer, or the owner of the gym, right, so he showed me a couple of poses, and you know, that was going pretty well. So I figured I was like a talent, or I have a talent for that. So I could move with the music and all of that. And also he teach me how to start memorizing all of that, you know. So start with 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then go pause by pause, and then repeat it again, and then until you get until 1 minute, right? So 1 minute is a regular time for your posing routine on stage, right, for amateurs. So, and that's how I got into that. But after that, I basically experimented on myself with the poses, you know. So there was nobody who just, you know, told me maybe how to move or whatever. Maybe a couple of tips how to maybe you know, make the bicep look more bigger, you know, kind of you know, have the bicep have the peak higher or something like that, you know, moving to the ears or something, right? So if you do the double bicep like that, it doesn't look well. If you move it closer to the ears, just the picture changes completely, right? So, and very, very important thing is I was always practicing in front of the mirror, and always got to see, you know, the changes, right? So if I hit the pose this way or this way, I saw the difference. So and also memorize that and continue to practice further in that matter, you know. So like Daniel said, after a while you figure out that the body can look completely different. You know, there's like small details that makes you look more impressive, more cut, more you know, get volume into the whole picture. So, and that's most important thing, you know, just keep practicing with trainer, without trainer, it doesn't matter, you know. But the good thing is today, you know, there are more experienced athletes who can, you know, provide young athletes with the knowledge, even through the Skype or something, you know, FaceTime, something like that. It's still better than back in the days, you know. I mean, there was no chance to meet a guy who is experienced, right? Or even if you look at the like at the pros back then, nobody could pose really, really good, you know, even the amateurs, right? I remember in Germany there was only one guy or maybe two who really were phenomenal in posing. It was Thomas Schoy. He's you know, one of the best posers ever, and Matthias Herzog. So that were two most impressive posers back then. So, but that was beginning of 2000s, you know. So yeah, long time.
I know Milos is really big in the posing, or, you know, did Milos ever work with you on your posing, like when you were working with him?
Yes, yeah. So I met Milos in 2006, but we didn't work together. But in 2007, so basically the whole time I stayed in Fullerton, California. I mean, that was training, posing, right? So, but twice a day, training, posing, training, posing. So sometimes I was already pissed. I was so empty, depleted. Finished the crazy giant set session, over an hour and 1.5 hours, and then he wanted to take pictures, of course. But first, I need to pause, and then taking pictures like another half an hour or something. So, but at the end, I'm really thankful for that because you don't want to do too much after you're done with your workout, right? So you 1 week out or 2 weeks out, you're basically dead, right? So, but then, he forces you to do that. So, I mean, you don't want to do it, but now I say, hey, thank God he pushed me through it.
Man, it's always great to have that second set of eyes. I know in pictures, I know even for me, when I'm in the mirror, everything looks perfect, right? You look great, or you think you do. And then I'll look back, taking a selfie or a picture, and I have a natural like high left shoulder. Like it's bad, but I don't see it when I'm posing. But every time I see my pictures, I'm like, oh my God, dude, I look completely crooked. So, that I think goes a long way if you're good at like self-awareness and making adjustments. But yeah, I know the pictures really helped me a lot, but I never had a posing coach either. I would just watch the Mr. Olympia when it would come on 6 months later on ESPN and record it and then just do that over and over. Because I started as a teenager, I think I competed before you, Dennis. Like 97 was my first show as like 17-year-old.
Okay.
Had bleached my hair blonde and braided it. It was something. I'll have to find that picture. But anyway, that's awesome. So let's get into it. All right, Dilans, let's go over to you, man. I know you've been waiting patiently. Really excited to talk to you here. First off, tell us where you won your pro card last year. It was last year, correct?
No, it's 2022. Like 2 years.
22. Okay. All right.
Yeah. In
Okay.
Poland.
Which show was that?
Poland.
Okay, the Poland show. Now, did you win? Did you qualify by winning your weight class, or did you win the overall as well?
Actually, I win first show in Italy. I win my class, and overall I was second. And the
Okay.
next week I fly to the Poland and win my class and win overall and get the
very
pro
nice.
card. Yeah.
Very nice. Now, what's your height, Dylan? How tall can you and how much can you weigh in at?
I am 176 centimeters.
Okay.
I don't know what is that in America.
I don't know either. Daniel, help us out. How tall is that? Here we go again, man. You Eastern European guys, dude.
My weight was 87.7 kilos.
Okay. And that's okay. So I do know that's under, around 200 pounds.
Maximum is like was 89. I mean, in this class B.
He's 5'9".
5'9". And what's his weight cap, Daniel?
What was
now,
how much do you weigh?
87.
87. We all look so dumb.
I know it. I should have been prepared for this, man.
200 approximately, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, 87 times 2.2 is 191.
181.
Oh, wow. 4. Okay. All right. So
you still have
right
some room in it, right? So you got what, 4 more kilos you can put on your frame?
No, actually, the rules changing this year. I can be in this year 96.2 kilo.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's like the judges put 2 more kilos this year.
Yeah,
2
they put 2 more
pounds,
kilos, and also they will weigh you in like 3 shows and get that
average.
What is it? I call it get one weight and put it on the paper.
yeah.
So you never have to weigh in this year. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. And
right
now this morning I was 96.1. I mean right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
so you have to help me translate. So what are you at the top then of your weight class, or do you have room to grow there?
No, there's no room anymore. So he can weigh in at 96 kilos, but he's just over 96 kilos right now. So yeah, so you basically
almost
there, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then here's my next question. Then, Dylan's obviously with your age at 24 and already being at the top of the cap, there's really not a ton of room for you to grow there in that class. And you're already so lean and developed. What's your ultimate goal? I mean, do you see yourself just staying in this weight class and having to kind of restrict your weight for your whole career, or do you eventually want to go to the open class or 212? Which, I mean, 212, when you'd have to go open, right? I mean, 212 is only another, 10 pounds?
No, 212 is not going to work
Yeah,
for him.
212
No.
is the same. 212
Right.
is the same.
Yeah.
But my goal is just right now is a pro debut. It's my first
Absolutely.
show, like in a pro. I don't know what's happening in the next years, but I need to do everything in the classic right now because I
No,
see my
absolutely.
physique looks like classic, and my coach also like we are doing everything for classic right now.
Right, right. Yeah, no, I agree. You want to max out your potential at that class before you consider moving up. But I guess my point was just that if you're already at the top and this is your pro debut, I mean, you can't go put on 10 pounds of muscle next year, right? Because you're going to be over. So I guess we'll have you back
Yeah.
on and have that conversation at that time. Because I know you're focused in on your pro debut. Now, what all shows are you planning on doing this year? Are you, obviously everybody wants to qualify for the Olympia. Are you going to do
Yes.
another show? Are you going to
Yeah.
do another
Yeah. Of
show
course.
after
Of
the?
course. Uh,
Yeah.
but like a first thing is do it everything for the United Kingdom Pro Show, and the second show, me and my coach think about the second show. But actually, that will be in May 12. I mean, in Alicante, Spain.
Mhm.
But and for after 2 more weeks is Germany. There's one more show,
Right.
classic.
I think it's that
Now,
the May 25th or so, right? Something like this.
guys, remind me,
What?
and whoever knows, is it just like the Open? Is the only way to qualify for Olympia by just winning a show now? I mean, there's no point system. The only
Yes.
way you're getting there is to win, right? So, Dylan, do
Yeah.
you see yourself continuing to compete till you get that? Is the goal to get to the Olympia this year? I mean, obviously that is a goal, but will you keep competing until you win, or will you kind of take the judges' feedback and, like, if they give you some, feedback that's going to
Um,
take you a year or two, will you kind of shut it down and prepare for next year?
I want to. I actually I want experience in the shows, pro shows. I just want to compete. I need experience in the pro shows, And that's
Yeah.
I also take from judges' opinions and
Right.
uh, yeah.
Yeah, we did a show last week with Gunther, and Gunther and Dennis were talking about how, when they first got to the pros, and it is important to get your name out there, kind of, let the judges start seeing your face. And then I think Dennis, you and Gunther both talked about how they want to see improvement, right? Because I remember we had talked about Roland Zerlot going up there and he never really improved from his pro debut. So is that really the goal, Dennis, is when they get up there, like, okay, this is what you look like now. Now, how can you keep improving so we can keep moving you up the ladder? And they have to put their dues in, so to say.
Yeah, I mean, you need to be around, right? So you need to show your face, and you need to compete very often, right? So kind of keeping at the 3 or 4 shows, so the judges can see what's the difference, right? So you are getting better through the shows or getting worse, right? So that's a thing. Also, um, you always want to win, right? But you don't know, right? Especially if it's your pro debut, you don't know what to expect, right? So I mean, you're always
Yes.
focused on winning the show. I mean, anything else will be not the right thing, right? So you're a bodybuilder, so you always want to win. So, but going into the show, then you will see, right? So where you stand, how it went, and then you're talk to the head judge and make your decision after that what to do next, right? So but like I said, it's very important to show your face and physique at good shows, right? Too. I mean, not just a small show somewhere where nobody goes, right?
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
also coming like shows like in Europe, they're getting bigger and bigger every year. So that's what I'm also doing. I'm bringing my athlete Dennis to United States to compete here, so the judges see him. So, but also it's not always said that you can improve from show to show. Some of the athletes get worse from show to show. That's also not a good thing, you know, to to do,
Yes.
right? So, but like I said, it can happen, you know, each, but you need to be around. You need to be competitive, and you need to really push it, you know. So at the end, the judge, even if you're not kind of placing first or winning the shows, the judges have to think like, oh man, that's him again, you know. So they need to know you. I mean, oh yeah, that's the guy, right? So, and
Yes,
that's
yes.
how you also develop the relationship to all of them too. I mean, it's, you know, they see you at every show, and they also can tell you, man, hey, you didn't do better, you didn't get better, or you were better than last week. So, and then you understand what you need to work on, you know. So it's
Yep.
pretty simple, but you have to go through all of this. Yeah.
Dilans, is there anybody on the pro circuit right now in the classic physique division that you kind of emulate, or somebody that's, you know, kind of in the top 5, top 10 physiques right now that you kind of reminds you of yourself? Is there anybody that, you know, we're going to see you pose here in a minute, but who would you kind of compare yourself to that's you know, up there in the classic physique division?
I'm, I don't know.
You look up to
Dilans is one of a kind. I mean, you can say that too, man. I'm just kind of, you
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
who is it?
you don't have to
Who's
look
up
up
there
to
right now
somebody,
that you
but
like? Whose physique do you
Uh,
like right now?
I like rough diesel physique. I always look
Do you? Okay.
the
I didn't
videos
expect you to say that. I don't think you're really built like Rough Diesel, but that's, I mean, he's a
because
great poser.
rough diesel is small and is a lot of proportions, lines. I like this guy.
a
He's
lot of
like,
details. Yeah, I
yeah, a
like
lot
it
of
too.
details. Very
Yeah.
good, classic guy. I like also Urs. He's a very young guy. He's a motivated guy. He always doing the best, like hard work and
Mhm.
show good results. Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
ask you
these
something.
two
You
guys.
think you could
Yeah.
get up there and battle with Thurs right now? Are you confident? You think you can get up there and hang with him?
I don't know.
I wanted either like no or hell yeah, I can. So we're throwing some tough questions at you, man. Bring your girlfriend in. I want you to introduce your girlfriend, Dylan.
Hi,
Hey,
I'm here.
go ahead. Yeah, so this is Dylan's girlfriend, and she's going to help interpret if we need to, but she's going to be doing, I guess, running the video here in a minute when we go through the posing. Let's see. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we'll take a quick break. I'm going to let you go ahead and get ready. And Daniel, you're still there. Hopefully, we're going to have you. You guys are familiar with each other. We didn't really talk about that too much, but you can kind of do that, and we're going to hand it over to you and let you put Dylan's through the rotation once or twice or whatever you think, and then Dennis and I'll kind of critique that. So Dylan's, why don't you go ahead and get ready? We're going to take a quick break. We're going to go shoot it over to Rodney, who is one of our formulating specialists here at Nutrition Wolf. He's going to tell you about this week's featured product, Big Bad Amino.
Hey guys, it's Rodney here with Nutrition Wolf, which is going to give you a brief rundown of Big Bad Amino. Big Bad Amino is an essential amino acid product, also incorporates 7 grams of branched chain amino acids. What's really cool about this product is not only is it an amino acid product that has hydration built into it, but also joint support as well. The joints getting lubricated as well as your amino acids and your hydration all in one. This is just one of our products. If you'd like to check us out more, check us out at nutritionwolf.com or check us out on social media.
All right, guys, we're back. Daniel, we're going to turn it over to you. You're going to take Dylan's through his mandatory poses and let you coach him up. Dennis and I'll watch, and then we'll kind of give you our thoughts when we get done here. Go ahead.
Yeah, great. So me and Dylan's, we've done 2 sessions already. So some of the things he's going to show you are some things we've already been working on. It's going to be really cool. So I'll take him through the quarter turns first. Quarter turns are the poses that you come out and hit first. They're your first impression that you give to the judges. So you really have to wow them. It's also all the quarter turns are just you can't hide anything, right? They're very vulnerable and they're very exposing. And so mastering them is super important. So Dylan, let's show them a front relaxed. Nice separation in the quads. His hips are back. He's doing a little mini vacuum there. He's got the chest up, delta flat across the top, and he's got big, nice flaring lats. It's what I love to see. Symmetrical left to right, top to bottom. Quarter turn right. He has very nice transitions. He's good with showing his back off there. Real nice tight through the abs, engage the glute. You can see a little bit of lat underneath that lead arm. Symmetrical top, bottom, left, right, quarter turn right. That's a hard pose to hit because we don't like him breathing in that pose because he wants to keep those abs tight. Here we've been messing with his hamstrings and adductors. I think they're coming in pretty well. Big thing here that a lot of people mess up is diving their head down, and it just erases all that mid-back musculature. He's doing a real good job here, lifting the chest, keeping everything engaged, sitting the glutes down on the hamstrings, quarter turn right.
Daniel, let me ask you on that last pose, is that something, are you flexing your glutes hard on that pose, or are you letting them relax? Because, I mean, obviously you want to see the separation, but are you tucking the pelvic bone in, or are you pushing out?
Relax, Dilans. Go back to that rear relax for me. So pelvic position is pretty important here. What we're looking for is just a neutral pelvis. Can you do your rear relaxed? So where your hip angle isn't like, it's not anteriorly tilted, it's not posteriorly tilted, it's just neutral, and you're just sitting those glutes down right on top of those hamstrings. And with his feet, I know you can't see them, but he's generating a whole bunch of tension by just dragging that floor up towards himself, like kind of bringing his heels together, and he sits those glutes down, and it just makes it very nice.
But you're contracting the glutes though on that pose.
Yeah, for sure.
Hard.
And
okay.
What he does a really good job of too, and a lot of people fall into this trap of thinking that the harder that you flex a muscle, the better it looks. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Sometimes all you need to do is just turn it on just a little bit, and the muscle looks fantastic. And then you conserve energy. So it's like a win-win. And Dilans is really good at that. Do that second side relaxed. This side right here, it's a little bit more difficult for him to rotate on, you'll see. But it's not too bad. This is just something like we need to do some mobility work on. But he still gets real wide. Shoulders are nice and flat across the top, hits the abdominals nicely. Don't cover that glute with your hand. Good. Kick it back.
Okay.
Kick that hand back. There you go. Quarter turn right. One thing you don't want to do, you never want to cover up condition. You never want to cover up muscle. Show him your front double. Now, this has evolved here over the sessions that we've done. He used to do a hip shift, but he wasn't turning off his glute muscles. So it didn't really have much classic shape to it. Now he can really jam over into that left hip, and he just sits real nicely, has a nice twist to the torso there. Bicep peaks over the top of the delts. Looks really, really nice. Good. Hit that pose again without breathing.
Now, are you instructing him to vacuum on this one, Daniel? It's pulling that in. I know it looks better on some people than others.
I think he pulled. Don't you pull a little vacuum here?
What?
You pull a little vacuum here?
A little bit, because I can't do it. I drink a lot of water.
Yeah. Right. And it's late in the day there for him too. So
a little food in his stomach now.
Yeah. Hit it one more time. Oh. Favorite side chest. So one thing we're really working on with Dilans, we mentioned Urs earlier. Urs is a master of stage presentation, and that's where we're going to get Dilans as well. Look at that. Nice and broad.
Nice one, yes.
Holds the vacuum. Good.
Yes.
Yeah. Dilans, go one more time. Control that abdomen for me. Don't
that'd
breathe.
Be the first thing I say. You don't want him peeking out underneath your hands there.
Yeah, and just because he's doing it for the podcast, but when we run through sessions, he knows.
Right.
Keep it in. Good. 3, 2, 1. Back double biceps. Really good. He stands a lot taller in that pose. He's 5'9", so I want to make sure he's all of that 5'9" in that pose. Sometimes guys really shrink down in that side chest, and they look a lot smaller than they are. Here he stays upright, big chest up, biceps over delts. Does a really, really great job in this pose. And I just have him breathe normally here. just have him breathe normally. He's able to conserve his energy, recover from all those poses that he just hit, and then get ready to turn in to hit the ab and thigh. Give me the ab and thigh.
What? Abs and thigh.
Ab and thigh. And here he just uses the same exact setup in the legs as he uses for the front double bicep. So he doesn't even really have to think about it. Good. Nice little transition there. Favorite
Daniel,
class?
let me ask you on this
Yes.
real quick. I mean, obviously you see a lot of the pros, I mean, hit the vacuum first. I mean, you got guys like Derek Lunsford that pretty much just hits the vacuum the whole time, which I think he's kind of been coached to get away from. But, you know, how important is that in the classic division that he demonstrates the vacuum? Is it overhyped? Is that something that they're really judging on, the fact that you can do that? Or is that something you would coach him to try to learn how to do before he hits the crunch version?
Listen, I don't think it hurts you to be able to do a vacuum. I don't think it hurts you. I think you can use it strategically to your advantage, especially if you understand who your competition is. But I don't think it's mandatory by any matter. But I do think too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, right? So I think doing it all the time is. I think it's just like the rest of bodybuilding. You want a well-balanced bodybuilder. So that comes with the skills involved as well. So you want to be able to do it, but you also want to be able to have strong poses without it. You don't want to be reliant on it.
Dylan, let me ask you. Oh, go ahead. Dylan, is that something you're practicing, or do you want to try to add that vacuum to your routine?
I actually do a vacuum always.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you're pulling it
after cardio.
What?
Hey, he's getting winded, huh? Okay, Daniel, I'm sorry. We'll I'm gonna kick it back to you, Daniel. Let him finish it up. But yeah, I just wanted to comment on that real quick.
No, that's all right. We only got one pose left. Let's see that favorite classic. And what you'll see again here, look at the leg setup, exactly the same as front double and ab and thigh. Just a really versatile leg position and hip position for him to be in. That looks incredible. He can do 15 different poses with that leg setup. Victory pose, archer. Give him like a most side try, even like a bodybuilding most muscular, like a hands clasp most muscular. Looks really nice with that hip shift. Can do a lot of really neat things with that hip shift, and that was something he just didn't know how to do. And so, that first session, I just told him, "Hey man, like you're almost there. Just turn those hip muscles off, let them be free, and then all of a sudden, all this classic flow just appeared." Yeah, he's going to do great. It looks very good.
Before we let you throw the clothes back on, can we see a front lat spread? And Daniel, I mean, how important? I mean, in his routine, are you going to have him throw something like that in? I've always wished this was one of the mandatories. I realize it's not in the classic division, but I really love that shot.
Oh, it's a fantastic shot. Yeah, I think you can relax when it comes to routine work.
Yeah,
good job, Daniels. Dilans. I'm sorry, Dilans.
Thank you.
Really incredible. I mean, hey, I'm really excited to see you competing in the next couple of shows. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes.
Katrina, you can go ahead and have him get dressed, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Daniel, did you want to finish up your thoughts? And then I also wanted to ask you about his posing trunks, if that's kind of standard, or if you'd like to see him go with a thinner set of trunks.
I think his trunks are fine. We're gonna have him pull him up to be on the oblique line, so we can get a good amount of glute to be shown. But yeah, I think those are fine for him right now. But yeah, when it comes to routine stuff, like send it full force, do all the as many of the traditional bodybuilding poses as you want. Like as long as you make them all flow together, that's really what matters. So yeah, I would love to see a back lat spread, a front lat spread in his routine. We can make them more classic, add that hip shift, do the 1 foot behind the other with the hand up back lat spread type of thing. So lots of stuff we can do with classic. And what's neat is watching old routines, when Dennis was competing, just watching all those guys and bringing some of that stuff back too is really neat.
Dennis, let me Let me get your overall, you know, what's your opinion there, Dennis? I mean, what do you think? You know, obviously he looks great. I'm going into his pro debut. Where do you think he could kind of improve on? What are his strong points, and what do you think he needs to bring up to, you know, start fighting his way up to the top of the division?
Oh man, I think Dylan's strong points are legs, right? So they're really good developed and also have great details already in it. So maybe he needs to bring up his chest, but it could be just a little bit flat. I don't know what he is eating right now and how how high is on his carb regiment right now. So, but in overall, great look. Especially back double bicep, very, very like nice and well developed. The whole back is well developed and this very symmetrical. So this is what I like. And also hitting these poses, like shifting his hip, makes him really look very classic. So and like I said, I mean, he's just 24 years old, and he will get better and better. But we talked about it earlier on the show. He is already at his weight max, right? So that the question will be, can he improve and keep his weight? Keep his weight? I don't think so, right? So, and this is very difficult. This is where classic kind of gets, or keeps your um, on the ground. So in open bodybuilding, you just go ahead and just build muscle, build, right? So that's your goal, right? So but in classic, you until you're develop your physique completely, it takes some time, right? But if you're already there, and like Dylan's making his pro debut and he's already like maxed out, right? So what's next, right? So that's gonna be very difficult. That's my my first thought, right? So what's next for him? Like how he handle that, right? So I mean, he won his pro card. He was weighing 87, so he now almost 10 kilos more, and it was like 2 years ago, right? So, I mean, you see, he still has so much room to grow, right? So, and I think in the future he could be one of the athletes standing up there in the open class and pushing the other guys. So I mean, everything is possible. Like I said, it looks like he is gonna hitting that weight. So it's
Dennis,
very difficult, to keep the weight and getting better and better, right? So
Yeah, of course, of course.
Dennis, I think Urs was a fair comparison after seeing him pose as far as like the guys that are up there right now. So what would you see? I would say his arms are maybe even better than Urs's, but what would you compare him? Let's say Urs like now, where would he need to do to get up there with Urs on that level and compete in that like top 5 from where he's at right now?
Look, man, from the overall look, I would say, I mean, there's nothing he can be afraid of, standing next to the top guys, right? But like I said, it's maybe the quality, the maturity, muscle maturity, which you cannot have in the beginning of your career, like if you're beginning of 20, right? So towards the end of 20s, then you will see more development in that direction, right? So maturity, muscle maturity is very important. Like just talking about maturity, let's say Brion Ansley, right? And Urs. That's a big difference in maturity, right? It's the only thing, right? Of course, Brion has more details in the back and stuff. But that's the thing, which looks completely different. I think the physique very, very detailed and matured, looks different and overpowering the young muscles. That's the only thing, right? So I don't think he needs to do crazy stuff. Just hey, do your thing, compete at the shows, and then you'll figure it out. What's the next thing to do? I mean, you're probably one of the youngest athletes right now who has the most potential to be up there and making the way up, totally up, all the way. So and I like the presentation you do. It's similar to a little bit to Urs his, presentation, like the twisted hip and all that. And I also I like that, a lot of young people take it from Urs, like you said, Daniel, right? He is a master on in presentation on stage, so, and it is good. So we always take something from other athletes. Like I did the same thing, I was watching a lot of things like Kevin Leron, Flex, all of them, but I just only picked something out which I liked, so, and
Okay.
that's how you build your own yeah, own, how you call it, not
Identity.
just the name and picture, but everything else. Just you keep developing and bring your own stuff in, new stuff. You experimenting in front of your mirror. You experimenting in the gym. You see yourself pumped, posing, full pump after the workout. And if you deplete it, all of that play a huge role to develop everything else in your career, like in the future. So hey, all the best, man. I'm really really excited to see, and I'll be watching for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Daniel, so Dilans has got his first pro debut in 9 days. Is this a physique? You work with a lot of athletes. Is this a physique that you think warrants a first call out in that show?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't. So that's the thing. Like, I know what looks good on an individual person. Now, putting them in a lineup, like, man, that's where like posing strategy really, really comes in. And I think Dylan's can do a lot with his size, and then also, with his ability to pose. I do want to keep drilling him, when it comes to like kind of polishing up some of the things, some of the transitions, kind of really make sure that he's feeling himself out there. It's a pro debut, right? So probably hasn't been on stage in 2 years, probably going to be a little bit nervous. So we're going to be talking a lot about mindset and stuff like that, making sure that he's not up there thinking too hard. But yeah, I think he could do really, really well. He's going to be one of the bigger guys on the stage. So first call outs I don't think that's unrealistic at all.
Okay. Do we know any other big names that are doing this show? Like maybe some guys from the Arnold UK possibly still going, trying to get that qualification?
One guy from United Kingdom, Arnold Classic, Emmanuel from Italy. He was
Yes.
five. I mean.
Okay. Now is he the guy with the very small waist, like very tiny waist?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's. So. I think he placed. I think he did the Arnold in the USA as well, right? And he was 5th or 6th.
Yeah, he was 6 or 7. And one more guy from
he's
United
very impressive.
that will be doing the show also.
Yeah, you'll have your work cut out for you. I think if you can get that first call out, that would be. I mean, obviously, you just want to look how you want to look. That's number one, and you can take that from it and then improve on it. But I mean, I think first call out would be a huge win for you. And like I said, that means that they noticed you. And if you don't get it, no big deal. But yeah, from what I've seen and watching the last two, the Arnold and the Arnold UK, I think you got a good shot, man. So I mean, we're wishing you all the best. And let me ask you: are you planning on coming to the U.S. anytime soon?
Yeah, actually, I was last year 6 months in Los Angeles. I trained in Venice Beach with a
gold. Yeah, you got to make that trip.
I did my very very good job, and then I come back to Latvia. But I want move to America. That's the thing. But
well, Vegas is the new Mecca. So next time you come over, you got to come to Vegas and see Dennis, and go train at the Wolf's Den. At the Wolf's Den,
6
right?
a.m. 6 a.m.
6
Always 6 a.m. man. Except yesterday. I was, I was not sleeping the last night, the 2 nights before. So my dog had diarrhea. So every hour he got me out of bed. So thank God he didn't make it in the house. So, but hey, every hour getting up and letting him out. So I skipped yesterday. So I trained afternoon. So yeah, but I think Dilans has impressive physique, and I think he got his first call out because if you see something impressive like this, I mean, his muscles are not looking too young, right? So just not too fresh. So he's been in training for a long time, I guess, and I think you'll impress couple of people. You know, of course, judges included. that's but also that's also the goal. You need to improve the judges. So like Dorian Yates always said, I want the judges to say like, what the F is this? You know, so but it's open bodybuilding. So that was our goal, always to bring
Yeah.
like incredible and impossible on stage. But in classic, you need to bring all these details, which he has. Great development, physique, symmetry, everything is there. So yeah, good luck, my man.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right, guys. I think that's going to wrap up our show. We're going to thank both of you guys, our guests, for being on. Definitely, guys, go by, check out nutritionwolf.com. As a reminder, use code BBB to get your 20% off and free funnel this week. Also, follow us on Instagram at bigbadbodybuilding _ and nutrition_wolf. Also, give these guys a follow if you're not already. Daniel, you can follow him at Daniel Coffeen 3. And Dilans at Dilans Kurepins _ IFBB Pro. We'll put those on the screen so you guys can, because I'm sure I butchered those names again, but we'll put them on there. But thank you guys very much. Dilans, good luck. Daniel, good luck with your posing, your posing instruction and everything you're doing with the, with Jewett and all that. And look forward to having you guys and maybe doing some more of these posing things in the future. Dennis, any last words?
Yes, thank you very much, gentlemen. It was absolute pleasure. Dilans, good luck to you. Daniel, great job. Keep it up. Keep doing what you do, man. I'm following you guys and very excited. I'm very excited to see your pro debut, Dilans, and I'll be watching. So thank you very much, and we might bring you back on the show, just to see and talk to you after the pro debut maybe, and
Yeah,
then
that'd be great.
whole season. Yeah, let's see. Yeah.
All right. Well, until next time, this is Zach and Dennis reminding you to keep training and stay hungry.